The very essence of the Museum of the Confederacy is to be an educational institution. We've got this fabulous collection. If we use it properly, people will understand more the people of the South and the conduct of the war. If you listen to the CD that we put together, we explained the history of the yell, the size of different units, and the sound, the rebel yell, the mystery of it. The fact that historians for decades have said the sound has been lost. We don't know what it sounded like. The fact that reenactors and Confederate veterans heritage groups have been giving what they thought was the rebel yell. To determine what it really sounded like was an adventure. And it was one of the most important sounds of the war. Shortly after I took the job, I went down to a Civil War Preservation Trust meeting, and I was riding in a bus on a battlefield tour with someone who told me about one of the original recordings of the rebel yell. And I came back from that trip and went on the website and listened to it. I said, wow, that doesn't sound like what I thought it was supposed to sound like. And that piqued my imagination. I guess it was an epiphany when we said, gee, it was not one guy doing it. It was not one soldier by himself that was being described. It was tens or hundreds or thousands at a time giving the yell. And that really started us on the project of, let's give this one person multiple voices. Enter the world of new technology, and it was not complicated technology or anything. It was just go to a sound studio and get that one voice recorded over and over on top of itself. We altered the treble each time. We altered the speed, the tenor, so that it sounded like 100 or 1,000 different guys. When that came back from the sound studio, and we put it on a CD player, what a thrill, because it didn't sound at all like the one guy, and it sounded remarkably like the words in the letters and memoirs were describing. You could sense the adrenaline rush that the Confederate soldiers would get when they were giving it. You could sense the chest would fill up, and you didn't care that grape and canister was coming your way and men were falling left and right. The flip side of that is you could sense the eeriness, the spookiness, the fear that would have gone into the Union troops. After we listened to it and reflected on it, the one voice multiplied into thousands, then came a period of distrust. Could this person be representative of the whole Confederate Army? At that time, we said, we need to find another recording. Did all the normal searches on the internet, and finally saw some reference to the fact that the United Daughters of the Confederacy had a copy of a rebel yell given by a Confederate veteran. And I recall vividly putting that CD on the CD player. And I hit the play button. And hear that exact same sound came pouring out of the speakers. And I remember the flush of saying, we've got it. Here are two different men, two different units, two different times, one being recorded in North Carolina, the other in California, one infantry, the other cavalry, one North Carolina, the other Virginia. This was enough credible evidence that these two guys doing the same sound were representative of the Confederate Army. And so the project really took off from there. The question of the rebel yell has been revived in part, I think, by this discovery that we've made in the CD we produced. Clearly, there's still untold stories. The one thing that we did not find was what's the origin? Where did it come from? I think that more research could lead us to a better understanding of the origin of the rebel yell. That would be the one piece that I would love to see clarified over the next